Welcome to NEETLOGIN. Today's topic is Animal Kingdom. This is the very first chapter in Zoology. When coming to this Animal Kingdom chapter, the number of questions likely to appear in the NEET are 2. So 8 marks from this chapter. Coming to the students' view, whenever they'll come across this Animal Kingdom chapter, they'll feel a bit scary. This chapter makes them scary. The reason for that is so much of terminology, the number of examples, the so many words and all, and little bit confusion between from one to the other phyla. So I want to make you that clear-cut phenomenon. No need to worry about the phylas and their comparative things. If you pay an attention properly, and when you pay an attention, it become a very bit easiness develops. So it's very happy to move on. Moving on to introductory part of Animal Kingdom. Whenever you observe your surroundings, so many animals you'll come across, from miniature to maxis, so many numbers. So millions of species of organisms are there around us. Among them, it's very difficult to study all at once. So systematic classification is needed. The need for classification is, as there are millions of species are there, if they are placed in a systematic way, it becomes easy for us to study this animal kingdom. Moving on to basis of classification. In spite of diversity in the structure and form of millions of animals, there are some fundamental features are there in those animals that becomes the basis for the classification of animals. What are those fundamental features? Arrangement of cells, how the cells are arranged in these animals. Body of symmetry. The symmetry is also one of the basic fundamental which is helpful for classification. Nature of coelom, the patterns of digestive, circulatory or reproductive systems. These are all the fundamental features helpful for the classification of animals. Levels of organization. In the kingdom Animalia kingdom is also called as metazoa. Animals are multicellular, eukaryotic, non-saprobic heterotrophs. All animals' body is composed of many cells. They are multicellular. No animal is unicellular. They are eukaryotic with true nucleus, and they are non-saprobic and heterotrophs. They cannot prepare their own food material. And regarding this, we'll discuss in the further classes. Levels of organization, why the need of it? Though animal's body is composed of many cells, in all the animals, the organization is not similar. It's different from one with other. The very first I'm talking about here, it is the cellular level of organization. In the phylum Porifera, the sponges, the cells are not organized to form as tissues. The cells are loose cell aggregates. Though their body is made up of with many cells, all these cells are aggregated loosely. They are not formed into tissues. And the cells show division of labor. The functionally isolated. The cells are functionally isolated. They are. The good example for cellular level is Porifera. Those are sponges. Moving on, tissue level. In tissue level of organization, in the members of coelenterates and in ctenophora members, the cells are organized to form into tissues is somewhat higher level than this. Cells are organized to form into tissues means a group of cells, they are started to perform a similar function. Those are tissues. That is tissue level of organization in the members of coelenterates and ctenophores. Moving on, the organ level of organization. The cells are organized to form into tissues, tissues into organs. The example for this is platyhelminthes. The flatworms show organ level of organization, organ system level of organization. In these phylums like Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Chordata, in these phylums, means after Platyhelminthes, in these phylums, the cells organized to form into tissues, tissues into organs, and organs into several organic systems. Functionally, there is some physiologically aspect of organization is seen in these phylums like digestive system, respiratory system, circulatory system, reproductive system. So, higher level of organization. Concluding this topic, the levels of organization from primitive to the higher level. The primitive level of organization in animals is the cellular level, next is the tissue level, and the next is organ, and the highly advanced type of organization is a organ system level of organization. Cellular level, tissue level, organ level, and organic system level of organization. In organic systems like digestive system, based on the gut, there are two types, incomplete gut and complete gut. Incomplete is also referred as a sac-like gut. In these animals, the gut is having only one opening which serves as both mouth and anus. During ingestion, it acts like mouth, and during egestion, it acts like anus. Example like in the members of coelenterids and in the members of platyhelminthes. Complete gut or tube-like gut. In this type of gut, they have two openings, one for ingestion, other for egestion. So, two different openings are there, meant for ingestion like mouth and egestion anus. Guts are of two, complete and incomplete guts. Circulatory systems. The circulatory system is also of two types, the open type of and the closed type of circulatory system. In open type of circulatory system, the blood pumped by the heart flows in between the cells and the tissues. Means here the cells and tissues will take bath in the body fluids, I mean the blood. In simple words, we can say that in open type of circulatory system, the blood flows both in the vessels and also in the open spaces. Coming to the closed type, the blood flows alone in the different dimensions of blood vessels like arteries, veins and capillaries. Here the blood flows only in the closed circuit, those are blood vessels of different dimensions, whereas in open type the blood flows both in the blood vessels and also in the open spaces. Symmetry, the other fundamental feature in animals. Asymmetrical. Any plane passing through the center of an organism do not produce equal halves. A good example for this is the sponges and adult gastropodon molluscans. Any plane passing through the center won't produce the equal halves. They're asymmetrical. Symmetry is not seen. Identicality is not seen. A stands for absence. Example, the sponges and adult gastropodon molluscans. Radial symmetry. In radially symmetrical animals like coelenterids and ctenophora members, the coelenterids and the ctenophora members, any plane, specify that word, any plane passing through the central axis of an animal will produce identical halves. Any plane means it's representing number of planes, n number of planes are possible, but provided each should pass through the central axis of an organism. Here we showed the three axes here, almost the three planes passing through the central axis produce the identical halves. The good example are coelentrates and ctenophora members. Moving on, the advanced type of symmetry, bilateral symmetry. In triploblastic animals, bilateral symmetry is seen. Bilateral, by two. The body parts are arranged on the two lateral sides of the organism. In the phylums like Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, even Chordata, from all these triploblastic animals, one plane. Here we said that many planes, any plane, but in bilaterally symmetrical animals, only one plane passing through the center of an organism. Here I showed you the outline of a man. This plane passing through the center of an organism, one plane produces the right half and the left half. Here no plane, any plane, not going to produce the identical halves. Whereas in radial symmetry, many planes, any plane passing through the central axis, whereas in bilateral symmetry, only one plane produces identical halves like right half and the left half, which is shown like in the figure.